Once upon a time, in a secluded valley surrounded by mountains, there was a peaceful Buddhist monastery located near a serene lake. The monks at this monastery were known not just for their meditation practices, but for their beautiful, radiant smiles. They wore simple robes, the color of earth, and their lives were centered around a minimalist lifestyle that embraced both inner and outer simplicity. The monastery was founded by a wise and humble monk named Vimalo, who had once been a royal prince, but had renounced all worldly comforts in search of spiritual peace. Upon finding this quiet spot by the lake, he realized it was the perfect place for his monastery, far from distractions yet close enough to nature's beauty to find inspiration. The monks wore simple robes and lived a life focused on contentment and gratitude. There were no extravagant decorations or luxuries in the monastery. Instead, there were humble wooden floors, a few handmade mats, simple bowls for food, and a serene, unadorned chapel where the monks gathered to meditate and chant. One day, a group of wandering pilgrims came to visit the monastery. They were surprised to see the monks smiling so warmly and effortlessly. The pilgrims, seeing the smiles, were curious and asked the head monk, Vimalo, "Why do the monks here always seem so happy and content, even though they live such a simple life?" Vimalo smiled gently and invited the pilgrims to stay for a while. After a few days, the pilgrims saw that the monks were always ready to help one another. When one monk went to fetch water from the lake, others would join him to carry the heavy buckets. When one monk was cleaning the temple, others would come to assist, sweeping the grounds with quiet cooperation. Vimalo then explained, "Our smiles come from within, from the peace we have cultivated through cooperation and simplicity. We wear simple robes, not because we have nothing, but because we have chosen to let go of excess. Our choice of life here by the lake is a reminder that we are part of something greater. The lake is calm and clear, as is the mind of one who has learned to let go of attachment." The head monk continued, "Minimalism isn't just about having fewer possessions, it's about creating space for wisdom to grow, for compassion to flourish, and for the beauty of the present moment to be fully appreciated. In the simplicity of our lives, we find clarity." Over time, the pilgrims began to understand. The smiles of the monks weren't forced, nor were they a mask to hide any suffering. Their smiles came from a place of deep peace and gratitude. It was a smile born of contentment, the kind that arises when one frees themselves from the need for more things, more accomplishments, more recognition. The simplicity of their robes and their choice to live near the lake reflected their commitment to minimalism, not as an absence of things, but as the presence of peace and cooperation in every action. The monks' cooperation was the key to their life together. There was no hierarchy of labor. Every task, whether cooking, cleaning, meditating, or caring for the animals, was done with joy and shared effort. The monks knew that each one was part of the whole, and by working together in harmony, they could create an environment that nurtured the growth of both the community and the individual. Before the pilgrims left, Vimalo gathered them and said, "Remember, it is not the amount of things you own, but the amount of peace you cultivate that defines your happiness. You can find happiness in a simple smile, in the work you do together, and in the choices you make to live in harmony with the world around you." With this, the pilgrims left the monastery, their hearts full of new understanding. They too learned that contentment doesn't come from accumulation, but from cooperation, simplicity, and a peaceful mind, a mind like the still waters of the lake. This story embodies the principles of minimalism, cooperation, and mindfulness, all integral to Buddhist practice. By choosing simplicity, living with fewer distractions, and fostering cooperation with others, we can find a deeper peace. The monks' smiles reflect the natural joy that arises from their lives of simplicity, and the monastery by the lake serves as a metaphor for the clear, calm mind that comes from living in alignment with nature and inner peace. This story may not be widely known outside of Buddhist circles, but it encapsulates a timeless lesson about the value of simplicity and the power of cooperation in finding true contentment.